Boom! And hello everyone. Welcome to our review of Until Dawn. Hey.
I guess it's dawn now. But I guess we're just going to jump right into this. I am going to warn you guys that there will be footage on the screen, and I'm not really caring about spoilers.
There's going to be a lot of spoilers. So if you intend to play it, or at least watch us play it,
you know, we should do that.
Hold off on this.
We should give them a score at the beginning, so if they're thinking about buying it, they'll see our score, and that way, if they don't want the spoilers, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, so you want to hit them with our score right now?
Okay. I like that idea. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I guess I'll hit it first. Alright, I rate this game, I'll give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. I gotta give it the 0.5, because I want to give it a 9, but I feel like 9 is a little too much for it. Like, it doesn't really fall short, but it doesn't really excel incredibly in any aspect. Although the plot twist, it's good stuff.
I'll comfortably give it a 8 kegs of ale out of 10.
All right, okay.
Because it is a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that in like a decade we'll be talking about it? No.
Mm-mm.
It's not really, like he said, for one, it doesn't excel really at anything. But two, I feel like because it's kind of on the ground level of Butterfly Effect games, give it like 5 years, and we won't even be talking about Until Dawn or Life is Strange.
But it will be a key factor, I'm sure, for a lot of games to come with the Butterfly Effect.
Yes, and before we actually get started with the criteria we've written down, I do want to mention that in terms of Butterfly Effect games, in hindsight, when we first decided to debate these, I kept thinking, I think Life is Strange is better.
I did too, but I had never played Until Dawn.
But when we played Until Dawn, and this was the second time I'd played through it.
First time for me.
I don't know, I appreciated it more.
I liked it too. I thought it was really good. Also, if there was a mistake, you can't go back and fix it.
Yeah. And that seriousness kind of helped.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we're just going to start with stories. So we're not going to say what the story is. I'm pretty sure either you know the basics of the story,
or you will find out.
Or you'll find out. But in terms of story, I think it's a pretty good story, I must say.
It was very solid. I mean, there were, there weren't really holes. No, yeah, there were some holes in the story. But
like what?
They were kind of filled in nicely. Where did Josh get all the money for all of that crap?
His family's rich.
You really think he's like,
no, I don't think they care.
I need a few like $1,000.
To be fair, they have a winter lodge, a gigantic mountain they basically own. There used to be a mine.
And then how about this? Some of the things that he had set up, they were animatronics. And they just kind of vanished. Like, you don't, that doesn't happen. You can't make stuff like that vanish.
Yeah, there were a little bit of plot holes. But I do want to say that I don't think the plot holes really affected anything that badly.
No, not really.
You do spend a bit of a horror game sitting there looking for plot holes, and that's going to be there no matter what. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the game was able to reduce the amount of plot holes, like serious plot holes, and keep them to a minimum. One thing I do remember finding odd, and here's where the spoilers start coming at you, but when Josh tells you that, he had set everything up, he plays back footage of him pretending to be in the trap where he gets cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
And when I played back through it later on, because I did a playthrough where I killed everybody, when I played through it again, you can't tell that he's not attached. At all.
And I first thought, I was like, oh, that's not real. He's just messing with him. And then it just, like, I couldn't find a spot where it looked like he was actually, like, not there.
And I guess you could argue that, the characters were really traumatized at the moment. They aren't really fully looking. But now, instead of the game filling in the plot holes for us, we're kind of filling in the plot holes for the game.
Yep.
But at the same point, realistically, the story is pretty good. I remember when the big major plot twist at the end came, when they announced that Hannah ate Beth. And
Yeah, that one was.
I
That was
remember
good.
because before they'd actually, officially said it, I started getting a little suspicious when they'd mentioned the cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you find out that Hannah survived the fall,
Yeah.
just about instantaneously, I'm like, there's no way she didn't eat Beth. There's no way.
Yep.
But that does bring up another plot hole. And I really, really don't like this plot hole. Why did the police, when they came out the first time, why didn't they search the mines?
Maybe they didn't think anyone was going to be in the mines. Because, like, okay, you figure to get down into the mines, you have to go, like, into a part of the mountain you're not supposed to be in. And
But the people who went missing owned the mountain. It was something I kept thinking about when I played through it again, because it's like, you figure if the police would have just went and investigated, they would have found them.
yeah, that's true.
And the game would have been,
They had searched just a little bit longer, like, check the mines. They would have found someone.
And another plot hole that I noticed, and I feel bad because I'm pulling them all out now, but when you start, there should only theoretically be one Wendigo. So how are all the characters being chased by one Wendigo at just about the same time? Technically, the only moment they could have escaped the other Wendigos was at the end of Chapter 9 when Mike blew up the
yeah.
sanatorium. But at the same point, he had been chased around by a whole crap ton. Unless it was just one Wendigo. If it was just one Wendigo, wow. Wendigos are not to be messed with.
They're quick. They are very fast. But still, like, they're all in different parts of the mountain. There's no way that they could have got around that quick, though.
Yeah. But moving kind of swiftly along, I'm going to tackle difficulty. This game doesn't really have a difficulty setting,
No.
which is kind of odd. Most games have them.
It just kind of gives you difficulties as you go. Like, say, instead of taking the safe route, you take a shortcut. It's like, oh, your quick time events are going to be faster. You're going to have less time to react to them.
But, and here is the expertise of playing through it, killing off all the characters on purpose. Just about none of the QuickTime events matter in the grand scheme of things.
That's true. There's, like, maybe 2 that actually matter at all.
Again, 2 of your main characters have plot armor from chapter Prelude all the way straight up to episode 10.
And I would think that that's just because they want you to actually finish the game instead of just kill
And
off everyone
that's
quickly.
all fine and good, but at the same point, you look at that, Sam, Mike are pretty much invincible. If you get Matt to survive, he doesn't do anything for like 5 episodes.
If you get Jessica to survive,
She doesn't do anything for like 5 episodes.
it's like 7.
About half of your characters don't really have any risk associated.
Nope.
Even when I was looking up online how to kill them off as fast as possible, most of the characters couldn't be killed off until episode 8.
Holy crap.
Yes, the difficulty in this game is a joke. I say that, and I only let like 4 characters survive when I first played through. So,
I only live 1.
yeah, but again, we were sitting there. But then I want to tackle graphics. This game's graphics, gorgeous.
Yeah, really good.
Obviously, without a doubt, some of the best graphics I've personally seen.
To the point where it makes your PS4 start to run a little hot.
Thank you.
Like, we played NBA all day.
All
and
day.
PlayStation was fine. It was whispering. It was like,
Yeah.
you put in,
Until Dawn.
Until
The
Dawn.
game doesn't even start yet.
yeah, it's at the main screen, and it's like,
It's running high.
like
It was
dying.
so bad that when we were recording the parts, I had to actually take all the audio into Audacity to cut out the fan noise from the PS4. And keep in mind, my PS4 is actually standing the vertical now,
in an
and it's got a
unenclosed
fan
space.
underneath it.
Yeah.
There is no reason it should run that
Still
high.
runs hot.
But we're missing the point here. Graphics, amazing. One of my favorite things about this game is when you step somewhere and you can actually look back a few minutes later, your footprints are still there.
Yeah, and there was this one part in particular I noticed when I was noticing the footsteps. There's like a spot of blood on the snow, and if you kind of step on it, it like messes with it. It like skews it, messes up the blood
Yeah.
in the snow. Like it was really cool.
It was really cool. But I don't think we have anything else to really say about graphics.
They're beautiful.
Granted, in the comparison between Until Dawn and Life is Strange has more of a stylized graphical style going to it, and it's fine. But Until Dawn definitely has better graphics.
Oh hell yeah!
Without even a shadow of a doubt. But I guess next we'll talk about gameplay.
Gameplay, very fun, pretty engaging. I mean, even when you're running through the woods and it feels kind of like a cutscene, they give you little quick time events to help keep you, focused and on the game.
And I'll agree that actually playing it is fun, especially when you have motion controls in, because it's kind of like you're holding the PS4 controller. You actually kind of have to tilt it and move it a little bit.
There was one thing that I didn't enjoy too much is anytime you wanted to pick something up.
Thank you. That's where I was getting.
R2, you grab it, you pick it up.
Then you have to spin your right stick.
Yeah, to flip it over. And then you gotta put it back down. And to open some of the gates.
Man, Tim, you are on point right now.
To open some of the gates, they put your hand up in front of it, R2 to grab it, up, over.
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous at points.
Yeah.
The gameplay is very unique in terms of, no other game really has gone that balls deep on this system.
And if you can make it a little more fluid with that stuff, it would have been pretty cool. It wouldn't have been bad at all.
Yeah, but I think part of the problem is that with the game so heavy on clues, I mean, there are over 100 clues.
Yeah.
You're spending so much of your time going, R2, flip. And it's like,
and then you read the whole thing.
And then you read the whole thing. It kind of gets into the next thing we're going to talk about, replayability. This game, in theory, should have a lot of replayability.
I'd say it's worth at least 2 playthroughs.
2 playthroughs. Okay, so if you're one of those people who says, oh, this game has 30 hours of gameplay, that's not enough, just go away. This game is not going to please you. Because we finished the gameplay in about 7.5 hours. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was us actively looking for most clues. I think you only missed 20 clues-ish.
Yeah. And if you really want to sit down and get all of them, it may take you 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then if you do it twice, which the second time isn't going to really take you that long, so you can get the Platinum Trophy, you got under 20 hours on your hands worth of game.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that's too bad. Look at most people's attention spans. They're crap. I'm not going to sit through a game for that long.
I'm not quite arguing that games should be longer. I'm just saying in terms of replayability, once you get through the game to about episode 6 or 7 when the reveal is made that Josh is a psycho, whenever you play through the game again, basically you spend the first 7 chapters looking for ways Josh set everything up.
Yeah.
And it really kind of hinders the appeal of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets to the point where, a game like Ocarina of Time, I've replayed it dozens of times. That's why I say it's the best game of all time.
Shadow of the Colossus, replayed it at least 4 times. At least.
But in terms of Until Dawn, there's almost no replayability.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't stand up that well when you've gone and played through it already. Just my thought. I think Tim's pretty much agreeing with me on that. Next, we're going to talk about soundtrack.
The soundtrack. I liked it.
Oh, Death.
that was a good song to put in there.
Oh my god.
It kind of fits the style of the game a lot. It's got that kind of dark, ominous feel, but it's kind of got the bright tone to it. The game with the lighting and the snow. The woods are dark. The snow kind of brightens everything up. It's nice. It flows.
The soundtrack is overall nice, but I would say out of most of the things we're talking about, the soundtrack is really one of the weakest areas.
Yeah, but I guess I can see why. I mean, they did have someone come in to do all the music specifically for the game, and it was just one guy with his orchestra, and
I don't necessarily think it's
set the mood
bad, but it just isn't that good.
Yeah,
aside from Oh Death, I can't think of a single moment of just straight music playing.
Yeah. It was more so to set the tone for everything.
Yeah.
It's mood music.
Yeah, and again, it's a good song. Don't get me wrong, I'm listening to that song way more than I should have. But, I mean, after that first song, you're not really going to pay attention to the music that much.
No.
And I guess that's by design. I mean, it is supposed to be a horror game.
And the music's kind of supposed to fade into the background with everything else.
But in terms of like character noises, voice acting, I thought was very good. Going through it a third time, you really notice how, I don't know if the actor did this on purpose, but Josh actually kind of sounded different from when he was, before he was announced as a Psycho and afterwards. And while I feel like it's too much of a change, you can tell he definitely put some effort into it.
Yeah. Because in the beginning of the game, like, when we were running into Josh, I kind of knew something was up. Like, if you watch me play through it, I'm like, man, I don't like that guy. Like, it seemed like the voice actor was putting a little bit of, like, emphasis on, like, his weird tones to make him seem kind of suspicious.
Yeah. And to kind of segue this point into the next point real fast, I think out of all the actors and actresses involved in this, it's not too surprising that he's had the most success outside of the game at this point.
Yeah.
Because the rest of them were kind of...
I mean, I could see Mike doing stuff outside of the game.
But that's pretty much just because he's really handsome.
And then, well, no, his voice actor was also good. And
okay.
The one lady, Panettiere?
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
Well, she had done stuff before that with like Disney
she's
Channel.
An actress. She's pretty good.
I mean, I'm just saying that for the most part, you know, I don't think anybody else really dove into it as much as the guy who played Josh did.
No, not at all.
And that brings us into the point of characters. And I think this was something the game did really well, because when you first put in the game, it's kind of like you almost immediately identify the characters by a basic kind of stereotype.
Yeah, you really.
You're kind of like, okay, he's the dumb jock, he's another dumb jock. Why do we have two dumb jocks?
Yeah, like that's the nerd.
There's
that
the
guy's
slut.
Crazy. There's the bitch.
But gradually, as you go through the game, you learn more about each of these characters, what makes them tick, you know, how they interact with each other, and you really kind of grow to like all of the characters, which they needed to make you do.
Well, not all of them.
But I will put this out there. I know you didn't like Emily.
I didn't like Emily or Jessica.
And that's
Emily
fine.
was my least favorite.
I didn't like them either. But you can sit there and make an argument for both of their characters.
I mean, I guess. But, like... I guess it's the actors doing a good job of making the characters
and
what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. But you can sit there and you can argue, you know, okay, Emily is this, Emily is that. Maybe that's why Emily is like this. You can sit there and do that. Because each of the characters are fleshed out enough.
Yeah, and they all, once you get down to it, you start playing through, you'll notice unique things about each and every one of them. And it even tells you, like, when it introduces the characters, it gives all their, like, different attributes, like what their strong points are. And that stuff can change depending on the decisions you make, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a very cool part of the game. Again, and we've mentioned this already, one of the things I didn't like, though, and it kind of seems unrelated, but it is related, is the fact that a bunch of the characters aren't there for most of the game.
Yeah.
And it kind of really hinders the experience a little bit, because say you start the game and you're like, man, I really like Matt and Jessica. Well, guess what? I have some bad news for you. Granted, you know, it wasn't as bad for me, because, you know, I was pretty much about Ashley and Chris. But going through it again, I've learned to dislike Chris a little more.
Yeah, honestly, I was a big fan I was a big fan of Sam, Mike, and Chris. I gotta say.
I do want to say, though, that Sam, I feel like she was the most bland character in this game. She almost existed strictly to be the female version of Mike.
Yeah, and, well...
With
also,
less sex drive.
Her character itself, like, she didn't have as many negative qualities to it as, let's say...
Because she didn't have
Jessica.
positive qualities, either.
Right. She's, like, the definition of true neutral, and that's cool. I like that. Sam,
I didn't like that. Because while every other character had something going on with them, you know, Chris and Ashley have this love relationship, or hatred.
Depending.
You know, Matt and Emily have this weird, unique relationship where, you know, she is kind of a bitch, but he's okay with that.
And he's, like, a super nice dude.
And then you have Mike and Jessica, who have their own kind of relationship. where it's more, I don't want to say sexual based, but obviously there was some hanky-panky promised for the day.
Yeah. And then there's
Josh, who is a unique character, and then you get to Sam, and it's like, you go through, again, I've played through it 3 times now. Okay, and one of the things I'm noticing is that it seems like Josh and Sam liked each other.
It did kind of seem that way.
But then they kind of wash it away when Sam's like, oh, I thought we were friends. And not saying they shouldn't have done that. I'm just saying it gives Sam next to nothing. Mike, from the start of the game, I hated Mike. Because Mike reminded me of all those annoying people in high school who were so much better than me. And then as the game progresses, I start realizing, well, shit, there is a reason he was better than me. Because he's a good guy.
Because he can still wield a sawn-off shotgun and a lantern with 2 of his fingers missing.
With 2 of his fingers missing. But the characters are really nice.
Very strong characters.
I don't think I can complain that much more about the characters. But the next thing, and the last note we have on here, is fun value. And this is where the game is a little harder to say, like, good or bad.
Yeah.
Because definitely for the first playthrough, it's so unique that I almost think you need to go out there and play it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just need to.
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily the most fun, but it's definitely worth one playthrough at least.
It is. If you could get it without paying for it, then I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
If a friend has a copy,
borrow it. Definitely give it a shot. Fun? Yeah.
It's a fun game. But immediately after that first playthrough, the fun, it's almost gone.
Unless you do the, like, full completion playthrough first, and then you go back and you do the kill everyone playthrough.
That playthrough's fun.
Then it makes the fun better.
That's fun. You have, like, characters running, and there's a log up here, and there's, like, dunk.
Yep. You're like, oh, I'm not gonna dodge that. You're like,
you want me to hit triangle?
You want me to shoot that thing? Pff, nah, I don't want to see what happens if I don't.
Yeah, and that raises another good point. Because, again, I think one of the most annoying parts of the game, to me, is the plot armor. Because I know, if you've watched the channel for a while, you've heard me complain about it. I'm sure Tim has heard me complain about it so freaking much.
He really doesn't like the plot armor.
I don't.
I mean,
because
I kind of see the point of it. Kind of.
There's this illusion of a butterfly effect, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be like, oh, it's this tree, you go up and you start making decisions, it starts branching out, makes this nice tree. Well, realistically, what it is you're on a track, a mine track, and you're just going along.
And you can hit a switch, and you either go to the left, or you go to the right.
But no matter what, the 2 roads intersect again, and you're back on the same path.
Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes some of your characters are too stupid and they fall off.
Yep. And that's what I guess we could call the deaths.
That's basically what they are.
But
realistically, you go through and so many choices don't matter because other choices matter too much or not at all.
Like, for instance, when I was playing as Matt, or I was playing as Matt and Emily, there's this moment where they find a flare gun. You can either keep the gun for Emily, or you give it to Matt. And if you didn't do something right in the very beginning, Matt just shoots the flare gun off in the sky like, pow!
Yeah. It's a really weird moment, and because even when you look up the explanation, it still doesn't seem to make that much sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
But it's like it was the closest thing to good effort I think they gave with the whole butterfly effect thing. It's like, aside from that, if you seriously look at moments that immediately get somebody killed, there's the Ashley and Chris moment with the gun and who you choose to shoot. But even that, it's like you've spent 6 chapters either cultivating a relationship between them or destroying it, and it doesn't matter because all of that gets erased in that scene.
I think there is like a couple that don't matter too much when you're playing as Mike. Gives you the option to kick this dog, well, this wolf. If you kick the wolf, it'll still come save you later.
It will.
But
trust me, I know. I did that playthrough today.
And I did my playthrough, I didn't kick the wolf, and I gave it a bone, and it didn't have to save me, but, it would have if I got attacked.
Yeah. But even later on in that part, okay, the wolf comes to save me, and I intentionally let the wolf get murdered. Great graphics, guys. And then right afterwards, I still don't do anything, and then the game cuts to black, and it's like, there you go, close enough. Mm-hmm. But I think we need to wrap this up real fast.
I think you're right.
So anything else you want to add? 8.5 kegs of ale.
8.5 kegs of ale.
I'm going with 8 kegs of ale.
Good game.
Good game overall. You should at least give it one playthrough.
Or rent it from Redbox. You know.
If it's in there.
Yep. But, I guess we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching.
See you later.